Okay, continue. Sakaki Umiko, Points of Contact. So this is the name of the chapter I just paused at. So yeah, just before this was Maka and Michiru practicing their English. And that was pretty freaking hilarious, to say the least. I mean, that was entertaining as hell. I just wish they could make, like, an entire chapter, or maybe, better yet, just an entire side game, where it's just Maka and Michiru having some conversation in English. That should be, like, an entire side game at this point. Talking about stressed bunnies trying to escape. Moderation is our rule in interacting with other creatures. But human beings have a hard time finding that balance even when we try. All too often we clumsily misjudge the appropriate distance. Our stumble and our attempts to maintain it. Hold on, Oni-chan! It's a crisis, you know? Seriously! Hey! Yeah, sounds bad. A crisis to be sure. A recess period. Makina pops up noisily before my eyes, then proceeds to grab at my clothes and shake me back and forth. I ward her off with one hand, paying little attention to the specific content of her squawking. What's with the brush off? Well, I assume you're just babbling. Can't say I'm sensing a whole lot of danger right now. But it's true! Don't give me that unruffled cool guy face right now. Earth's in danger, you know! I can't do anything about my face. Leaving that aside, I suppose it wouldn't do to ignore a global crisis. It's a bit more localized, specifically limited to our class. That's a pretty dramatic drop in scale, you little punk. But in many symbolic, philosophical anime, the events in such microcosmical communities are directly connected to the fate of the world, so I'm really not that far off. What the hell are you even talking about? Well, leaving aside symbolism and the fate of the Earth or whatever, I think it's fair to say this is a fairly serious matter on the scale of, let's see, a 1 kilometer radius or so? Oh? Makina is one thing, but if Amane is backing her up, I guess this does warrant my attention. What's this? Something up? Oh, why the group meeting all of a sudden? I have a feeling this is going to get out of hand if everyone jumps into the conversation. But just as I'm about to shoo away the two late arrivals. That's it. For some reason, Amane jabs out her finger in my direction, and powerfully declares something rather. I'd appreciate it if you could explain what it is a little more comprehensively than that. That word everyone you just used? That's the problem here. Think about it, Yuji. I have no idea what this woman is talking about. Does leading a normal student life require the ability to find enjoyment in this sort of vague, meaningless riddle? In that case, I've still got a ways to go. Come on. You say everyone, but aren't we missing a certain someone? Oh, we're talking about Yumiko? Amani is suggesting my unconscious exclusion of Sakaki Yumiko from the group. Suggests a problem in our social dynamic. Right. We get to a recess period and half the time she just vanishes. The rest of the time she's hiding behind a book, shutting everybody out. Is that really what Sakaki-san wants? You have to wonder sometimes. She's keeping her distance out of her own free will, so presumably this is how she wants it to be. I don't think it's necessarily something we need to worry about. It's been that way up until now, but that might just be a vicious circle she can't break out of, you know? If we approach her a little more proactively, there's a possibility things might change. Oh, Pacify, welcome back. I know this is a real change of pace from Terraria. Yeah, I'm aware Journey's End is out right now. I don't know, I just kind of want to take a bit of a break from Terraria because I already played so much of it recently. But with 1.4 out, I might just get back to it sooner than I initially thought. I mean, if there wasn't a new version of Terraria, then I definitely would have been taking an even longer break for sure. But having a new giant update to play, that's gonna give me more content for sure. How did you reach that conclusion? Do you have any evidence whatsoever? None. Just going off a template. Okay, you can stop talking now. I guess you guys might be right, but honestly, I'm a bit too scared to try. Make one wrong move and she'll flash that icy smirk at you. It's bad for the heart. Yes, that's true. Michiru-sama in particular seems to receive that murderous smile quite frequently. Even as a bystander, maintaining my calm proves to be a challenge. Oh, so it's not my imagination after all? She really is gunning for me? Anyway, let's try to forget our personal traumas for the moment. I had a pretty good idea just now. How does a little contest to see who can get friendliest with Sakaki sound? A contest? How would that work? Let's see, we give out points, like touching her hand would be 1 point, tugging her sleeve and you get 3 points. Is that my imagination? Or is this sounding increasingly fishy? Also potentially dangerous. Yumi-chan's got that long pretty hair too, you know? Okay, so touch her hair and it's 1 point, pull on it for 3, and 5 for yanking a hair out. Sound good? How many points for cutting some off? You're an aggressive one. Alright, how about 10 points per centimeter you cut off? We're tracking the centimeter. It's a pretty potent multiplier. Sounds like a challenge. Yumi-chan's head might end up a blasted wasteland before I'm through. Oh, fuck. Now I honestly can't wait to see the aftermath of this whole game here. Can we slow down for a second here? Are you all seriously going to do this? My voice of restraint falls on deaf ears. The rest of the group is getting more fired up by the second. What about snatching away a book Sakaki-san is reading? That doesn't sound like you're getting friendly with her if you're literally just taking her property from her. That's 100 points, but get this. If you manage to get the book on top of Sakaki-san's head, it's 10,000 points. 50,000 for the ultimate reversal of fortune. Make the book read her. Amazing. The tantalizing possibility of an instant come-from-behind victory adds in a whole new level of excitement. A book reading Sakaki? What does that even mean? Please explain in detail. Was this a surreal gag? Did Amane trip over her tongue in her increasingly frantic excitement? At this rate, I'll likely never know the truth. The bizarre conversation rolls forward, momentum building by the second. You'd think everyone involved was hitting the peak of a chemical-induced high. It might just be my imagination, but sometimes I think I may have found my way into a fairly deranged excuse for a learning environment. The match will be held during the next recess period. The person that gets friendliest with Sakaki-san is the... I wasn't considering sealing her book friendly. Alright! A worthwhile challenge indeed. I'll show you what I can do. Do you people actually hate Sakaki or what? The enthusiastic group of conspirators doesn't dignify my perfectly reasonable question with a response. Tragically, for Sakaki, the next recess period arrives all too quickly. Hey Yuji, don't go tattling to Sakaki-san, got it? Fine. You're the official scorer, Oni-chan. So you gotta stay impartial too. Don't start rooting for anybody, okay? Let's get this over with. To be honest, I seriously doubt this is going to get us any closer with Sakaki. But giving the game away would probably make things just as awkward in its own way. And so I've adopted typically Japanese policy of watching passively over the situation from a safe distance. Sakaki Yumiko. The unexplored territory. The final frontier. Seated at her desk, face buried in a thick book, her body language projects a desire to be left alone. Sakaki-san, do you have a second? Yes. Her approach appears impressively natural. A woman's something of a skilled actress, apparently. Of course, she could probably be putting that talent to better use than this, but... What is it? You see, we had a little chat while you weren't around. Some variety of malicious gossip, was it? Yes. No, not at all! Sakaki coolly throws out a perceptive question without bothering to look up from her book, prompting a flustered denial from Amane. We were reflecting on our past behavior towards you, Sakaki-san. We felt we might have been interacting with you without adequate consideration for your feelings. Yeah, right. What she said. What do you mean? It feels like we tend to meddle it a little too much and end up bothering you sometimes. If you'd like, we can try to be a little more restrained, maybe? Could you be more specific? Hey yo, Yumi-chan, what you reading? Makina tries to snatch away the book with a surprise attack, but is forcefully rebuffed by Sakaki, who's clearly in a state of heightened wariness. Makina clicks her tongue in irrepressible frustration. She'd been gambling on taking the big points with that opportunity, but sadly her moment has passed with nothing more than a 1-point hand touch. It would seem a certain someone isn't quite on board with your proposal. Jeez, Makina, what the heck are you thinking? I'm sorry for Maki-chan's behavior. Did she twist your hand? Let's suppose that she did. Is there some reason why you need to start touching it as well? Yes, it's better to be safe than sorry. Please let me take a careful look. The palm of your hand and your fingers don't seem to be injured. Let's see about the wrist. Sachan's really something. She converted someone else's failure into an immediate profit. I gotta keep an eye on that one. The palm of Sakaki's hand and her fingers are pretty much a package deal, so I'll award 1 point for the pair. With the addition of the wrist, Sachi's jumped into an early lead with 2 points. Gee, Sachan, were we not just talking about this? You gotta give Sakaki-kan her space or she's gonna start thinking you're a weirdo, you know? Can I ask why you feel the need to pound on my back as you speak? Oopsie, I'm sorry. Your big sis didn't mean nothing by it. You know, out in the country all the old ladies go around thumping people like this at the drop of a hat. That's fascinating, but I'd really appreciate it if you stopped hitting me some point. Thumping equals 5 points. And she just executed a 5-hit combo. Amane sees us 25 points in the blink of an eye. The old lady reference also seems like a clever play, taking advantage of the difference in their ages. But expressing my admiration on this point would likely lead to new conflict. I exercise discretion and keep my trap shut. It's really rude to start hitting Yumi-chan out of nowhere like that. Here, let me demonstrate, like this. Very rude. Am I right, Yumi-chan? You're being about 10 times ruder at the moment. Just when I thought the balance of power had shifted to Amane. Makina uses her established thoughtlessness as cover to launch a new series of attacks, quickly acquiring 40 points. Keeping up with the scoring is beginning to prove challenging in its own right. Yumiko, do you have a loose button on your uniform there? No, it's nothing. My mistake, Sakaki-san. Sakaki anticipates Michiru's approach and brings it to a premature halt with her powerful glare. The pseudo-tsundere wilts like a potted plant under the desert sun. There certainly was a loose button. Here you are. Huh? Seizing the moment once again, Sachi deftly plucks a button from Sakaki's uniform, then holds it out for inspection on the palm of her hand. Oh, thank you. Not at all. It's only natural. In comparison, Sachi's beaming from ear to ear. She's got guts to launch a bold attack like that under such risky circumstances. In deference to our dauntless soul of a maid, I mentally award 50 points, bringing Sachi's total to 52. She's regained the lead in a flash. If you like, I can sew the button back on immediately. Fine, do as you like. Certainly. Please leave it to me. Hey, don't yak on my clothes like that. I'm very sorry, but I need you a little closer to get the correct angle for my needle, if you don't mind. Pulling on Sakaki's school uniform earns her 3 points, bringing her total to 55. Oh, why exactly are you pulling me in the opposite direction? Well, you got stretched out in that direction, so I thought I'd restore the balance. Hope it didn't bother you or anything. Quite honestly, you did. Alrighty, then I'll put you back as you were. I'll put you back. Oh, she's so cute. I'm gonna put you back right where you were. Makina adds 2 tugs for a total of addition of 6 points with a score of 46. She's hot on Sachi's heels. Look, what exactly are you people playing at here? Sakaki's not completely oblivious. By this point, she's clearly realized that she's become the group's plaything. Her voice has a dangerous edge to it. Come on, don't say that. If you're grumpy all the time, this beautiful hair of yours will start going white. Of course it won't. Don't attempt to distract me. And will you please stop touching me? But you had a split end, see? Spare me the nonsense. No, it's true. Take a look. Amane seems to have discovered a genuine split end. Sakaki falters for a moment, obviously thrown off her balance. Devious as Amane might be at times, I don't think this was planned out beforehand. I don't particularly care. It's hardly important. That's no good. You gotta pay a little attention to your groomer or you'll end up becoming an unpresentable mess of a woman. Come on now. Sakaki attempted to bury the split end in her thick hair, but Amane smoothly intercedes and takes up position behind her. Compared to the clearly unnatural interactions earlier, this is a convincingly normal development. From a neutral perspective, it would appear an action of pure goodwill and friendliness on Amane's part. Accordingly, Sakaki proves unable to offer any firm resistance. 1, 2, 3 touches of the hair. Of course, unbeknownst to her, Amane's racking up points by the second. Impressive. Damn, Amane sees herself one hell of a cushy position. Having won Sakaki's trust for the moment, Amane no longer has any need to employ risky, aggressive tactics. As she slowly and steadily racks up the points, Makina and Sachi's faces grow increasingly tense with desperation. What are you so pleased about? It's nothing! Just thinking, your hair is really pretty. What about this split end? Mind if I pull it out? I just happen to have a pair of shears for split ends. Allow me! I got it. Here, I'll let Amane do it, so please don't glare at me like that. Thanks, Michiru. Why am I the only one to suffer? Michiru, it's painful just to watch you. The girl's thoughts are written too plainly on her face, especially when she's up to no good. Sakaki's going to shoot her down every time. Perhaps this will inspire her to take a good long look at herself. On the other extreme, Amane is already coasting into a leisurely victory lap. Combing through Sakaki's long hair, she snips out split ends with the scissors she bore from Michiru. As she's racking up another 10 points with every centimeter she harvests, she's already well into triple digits. Although Sakaki's keeping her expression blank, her reaction to Amane's fiddling with her hair appears to be something more like relaxed boredom. Putting aside the points in this silly context, it seems like they might really be getting friendlier. I challenge you to a duel! A duel, you hear? Let's go punch the crap out of each other until a beautiful friendship blooms. Is that how that works? No thank you. Sakaki-san, that's quite an interesting book you've got there. Might I take a look for a moment? No, you got an evil gleam in your eye. Makina and Sachi try their best, but Sakaki's on high alert. Their hands are tied. At this point, it's no exaggeration to say the match is all but decided. We're all done. Thanks for the scissors, Michiru. Very soon, the chime heralding the end of the recess period will sound. At that moment, this battle will be concluded as well. Sitting comfortably on a commanding lead, Amane refrains from touching Sakaki's hair longer than necessary, bringing the grooming session to a natural end. Long since out of the running, Michiru seems destined to end the match with an inept 0 points. Oh. As Amane hands over the scissors, they slip through the dejected Michiru's hands and clatter against the floor. As a side note, don't get the idea that Michiru's only careless when depressed. This sort of thing happens all the time. Sorry about that. It's fine. There they are. Dropping down on the desk, Michiru crawls forward a bit in the direction of the group. Picking up her scissors, she immediately begins to stand up. Hey, hold on, stop. You're going to... Huh? As Michiru's head lunges toward her like the world's clumsiest uppercut, Sakaki instinctively reaches out with her hands to defend herself. Of course, in those hands, she's still holding the book she's been protecting all this time. Ah. Ah? In the next instant, Sakaki's frozen in place. Her book, knocked violently out of her hands, now rests on top of her head. Apparently unable to process the situation, Sakaki stands perfectly still. Sakaki's face is blank with dazed confusion. The hardcover book lies open across the crown of her head like some bizarre helmet. It's a truly surreal moment. I find myself staring blankly, utterly lost for words. Makina has already burst into an explosion of tactless laughter, and Amane's trying and failing to contain her own amusement. Sachi, on the other hand, gazes with some bitterness at this truly astonishing bottom of the ninth. Huh? And in that moment, the bell echoes through the classroom, ending the contest. Time to announce the results. At the next recess period, we've gathered in the hallway in an attempt to avoid Sakaki's notice. Who's the winner? Don't keep us in suspense, Yuji. I think you're all well aware already, with a final score of 10,000 points earned by planting Sakaki's book on top of her head, Michiru is our champion. Tough luck, everybody. This is pretty friggin' hard to swallow, you know? I quite agree. What's this I hear? The whining cries of the also-rans? How very sad. But face the facts, whatever the means results are all that count in the end. Luck is a skill in its own right. Michiru may have been completely nonplussed by her victory at first, but upon grasping the situation, she instantly puffed herself up like a peacock. I think it's fairly clear the girl has a lot of backed-up resentment. Cheer cheer ain't the cheer cheer we know and love if she actually wins at something. Yes, this is very out of character, Michiru-sama. Please make sure to lose in a particularly horrible way next time, in order to restore the proper balance. Is this abuse really necessary? Come on, y'all. Settle down now. Amane offers the group vague, soothing words in full Kansai dialect. By the way, Michiru, that was just a coincidence there at the end, right? I assume you didn't do it on purpose or anything. It was all part of my cunning plan, of course. Michiru's voice rings with bold confidence. Judging from her stilted phrasing, it's most likely a complete lie, but the words nonetheless sound fairly convincing as they echo hollowly down the hallway. At that moment, everyone else freezes in pure shock. With a quick survey of our surroundings, I soon learn why. I don't miss Amane mouthing the word idiot with a slightly smug look on her face either. Her reaction to defeat is to plot revenge. It would seem. Quite a woman. But anyway, I wonder if this really did get us a little friendlier with Yumiko. Huh? Why? Well, Michiru, I believe Yuji's referring to the fact that you're about to be destroyed. What the heck is that supposed to mean? Oh, hi. Oh, fuck. So that was intentional, was it? Oh. Rip. With a familiar, ominous sound, the shadowy figure that snuck up behind Michiru mutters a few ice-cold words. The other girls had this contest to see how many things they could do to Yumiko to get the most points to try and become friendlier with her. And I knew this was going to happen, to some degree. Why didn't you say something? At last aware of her plight, Michiru squeezed out a few whimpering words of reproach. I'm ashamed to admit it, but I just noticed a moment ago myself. I might have given them a little bit of a threatening glare so they'd keep their mouths shut. Sawi. Cut the baby talk. Amane, you asked that question knowing full well she was there. Teehee? Take your teehee and shove it! But this is quite a load off of mind. In the end, Michiru-sama's regained her rightful place in the order of things. What a relief, don't you agree? I disagree. Stop being relieved. Case closed, you know. Right? That's that, Yumi-chan. I assume this would be obvious, but allow me to make myself clear. I have absolutely no intention of letting the rest of you off any easier than her. Come on now, don't you feel like we got a little closer in a sense? You're such an optimist, Amane. What should I do here? Well, probably the same thing as the rest of us. Retreat. Double time. Oh, hey, wait! That's my line! This day would go down as the first time in the Academy's history that all of its students were simultaneously absent from a class. But it's sad that no one involved dared speak of the reason why. Our daily habits become part of who we are. That goes for everything from the natural routines, like washing your face or brushing your teeth, to the obsessive rituals, like always moving your left leg first when you walk. I know I don't run every single day for some conscious reason. The habit's just ingrained into my personality by this point. Doesn't matter how tired I am. Doesn't matter if it's pouring rain. Doesn't matter if the wind's blowing me all over the road. Even when I get a little sick, I'm out there running like it's a cure for the common cold. 16 kilometers every morning like clockwork. In 1 month, that's 496. In a year, 5,840. When you work it out, I'm running the distance to Singapore annually with change to spare. A pretty respectable distance, if I say so myself. Not that I'm particularly aiming to go see the Merlion or try the famous chicken rice. My itinerary is strictly local. Every day I make my way around the outer walls of the school, past the shuttered stores of the shopping district, and by a few poorly maintained Shinto shrines. Every day I take in the same coastal scenery. Might sound repetitive, but I don't feel I need to change my standard course. Running a familiar road at a familiar pace makes for better training. That said, my route isn't completely set in stone. For example, if I happen to notice an acquaintance nearby, I'll sometimes head in their direction. Not that I chase people around town, of course, I just catch up and offer a brief greeting. It just seems like the polite thing to do, especially when they're a school friend of mine. This morning, as I'm following my standard marathon route around the Academy's campus, I catch sight of Matsushima Michiru. I had planned to do 3 quick laps around the school before heading toward the station, but Michiru's appearance gives me pause. Even from a distance, her body language is clearly unusual. From the way she's trudging along the road with her shoulders slumped, you'd think the force of gravity is operating at double strength. Something seems distinctively off with the girl, then again. It's still very early in the morning, I don't want to disturb her privacy. Better not to call out to her. As I make my way through a shopping district, I think of reasons why Michiru would leave the school at such an early hour. She's a little young to be heading to a public park for radio calisthenics. So what's her objective? When I happen to spot the girl for the second time in this one training session, my curiosity proves hard to suppress. This time, running along the coastline, I notice her blonde hair dead ahead. She's slowly walking up the same road, her head slightly bowed. At this rate, I'll catch up to her very soon. When I overtake her, I can just say a quick hello. But Michiru abruptly turns off my route. Before I have the chance to say anything, she's vanished down a side path. Having completed my standard 16 kilometers, I return to the dorm as usual. Usually I take a quick shower next. But the uncharacteristic melancholy I could see in Michiru, even from a distance, seems to have left an oddly strong impression on me. It's weighing on my mind. We're classmates, I suppose. Can't hurt to stick my nose in every once in a while. Mumbling something of an excuse to myself, I wipe the sweat from my neck with a towel, then head back outside the school grounds. I have to say, though, I don't understand people who dream about living in a house by the sea. The ocean breeze makes everything rust. The moisture makes it hard to dry your laundry. If a seaside town sounds romantic, you've probably never lived in one. Sure, you can come to love your home wherever it may be, but let me assure you, there's nothing idyllic about drunken teenagers partying on the beach for months at a time. Especially given their tendency to launch fireworks at midnight. Let's see. I'm pretty sure she was headed this way. I don't think we've been here before. I find Michiru seated on a high ridge overlooking the sea. Aimlessly gazing into the distance, I approach slowly, but she appears oblivious to my process. I'm consciously taking loud, conspicuous steps to no apparent effect. The girl's carelessness exceeds my expectations. She's crumpled into herself like a load of laundry long forgotten in the hamper. More than anything else, she looks worn out, exhausted even. Almost like a completely different person. I can hear the sound of waves in the distance. The sunlight is gentle this morning, and the weather fair and pleasant. The location isn't bad either. But if this is an early morning picnic, she's forgotten to bring food. Michiru. Doesn't respond to my voice. What's wrong? Waiting to get picked up by the garbage truck? In that case, you gotta label yourself as oversized waste. They can't pick up bottle blondes if you just dump on the curb, I'm afraid. Normally, a remark like this would be met by an indignant, cryptic shriek as soon as it left my mouth, but today I get nothing. Just what is going on with this girl? I rapidly review and analyze Michiru's recent behavior. Just what do we have here? All the pieces fall into place. I see, so that's what's going on. Why didn't I realize sooner? Careless. Very careless. Damn. I finally gotten a grasp on the situation, specifically the nature of Matsushima's Michiru's bodily distress. Michiru, has your dysentery taken a turn for the worse? You should have told me. Why suffer in silence? Okay, first order of business. I need to look at your stool to confirm the progression of the disease. Hurry up, out with it. Huh? What? Hey, what? And then there's finally a response. I was half convinced she fainted sitting up, but things don't seem to be quite that serious. Huh? Why are you here, Yuji? Good question. Why am I here? What do you think? I have no idea. That's why I asked you. Michiru may have recognized my presence, but our normal bristly attitude is notable by its absence. It's not just that her armor has fallen off, it feels as though she isn't even aware of her own state of vulnerability. Why am I here? That would be because I came here, therefore here I am, understood? Well, I know that, but that's not what I meant. Either way, that's of little importance at the moment. Produce a stool sample at once. Huh? What are you talking about? Cut the back talk, maggot. You're the one who ate contaminated food. Here I am, kindly offering to examine your stool as a favor to my classmate, and this is your attitude? Evacuate your bowels at once. Okay, look, how many times do I have to say this before you get the message? I didn't eat any contaminated stuff. I don't scavenge for food, okay? What's that supposed to mean? Are you implying my mental picture of you was fundamentally flawed? My lighting on my camera, right? For better or for worse? I picture you in the mountains, discovering colorful toadstools. You try to shriek, oh my god, what's this? It's like so cute, but before the soul is out of your mouth, you've stuffed it full of mushrooms. You're dead seconds later. Come on, there's no way I'd do something like that. What? Do I really have that sort of image? Worse in my opinion. I tried to make it better. I also noticed there might have been some camera lag and some general choppiness on my last Root of Grisaia stream, so I tried to mitigate that. Just trying to make sure that's been mitigated at least. Well, Tsundere Michiru-tan, always cheerfully running around chasing the bluebird of happiness. Just don't get the wrong idea. It's not like I really want to find a bluebird or anything. You know, something like that. If you don't want to find one, why are you chasing it in the first place? It's just a figure of speech. That's just one small part of the true Michiru. Anyway, understand? You don't have to pick at everything I say, you know. Sadly, I find your explanation incoherent. And that image of you lying dead in the forest with mushrooms spilling out of your mouth doesn't seem to be going anywhere. My apologies. Shut up already. Anyway, I'm the same happy, energetic person as always. Certainly, my impression of Michiru up to today has been pretty similar to her description. A constantly cheerful idiot girl. But today she's got none of the usual vigor and her tsundere act has all but disappeared. When women act differently from normal, the most likely cause is that time of the month. But we're dealing with a girl going through a difficult age. One must put these questions delicately, or it'll be awkward to answer. I lower my voice and beckon Michiru closer with my hand. Huh? What is it this time? Michiru draws her face near. I put the matter to her in the most gentlemanly way I know how. Are you menstruating? That's not it! Why would you whisper that into my ear? What is wrong with you? I thought it would be better than shouting, but it seems our opinions differ. That's not the point. You shouldn't say that sort of thing at all. I'm simply trying to understand the situation. Is it iron deficiency then? That won't just give you anemia, you know. Makes it easier to catch cold as well. There's no reason to stuff yourself with vitamin C like an idiot if you forget to eat anything else. You need balance, understand? Balance. Will you stop jumping to conclusions? Sheesh, I'm not sick or anything, okay? So it's not anemia, not menstruation, and not a nutritional deficiency. I'm out of ideas. What's actually going on here? You can give it to me straight. I've been in the field a long time, you know. You're probably not going to shock me. You see. Yes, go on. What is it? I was looking at the sea. Say what? I was looking at the sea, alright. The sea? Michiru gives a quick, embarrassed nod, her eyes downcast. Looking at the sea, I ruminate carefully on those words. Just what hidden meaning lurks inside this brief, cryptic cipher of a sentence? Looking at the sea. Maybe there's something related to our past that begins with the letter C? What would the C indicate? Nothing comes to mind. I don't know, maybe something happened in her life that was traumatic and began with the letter C? What exactly are you referring to? The C is just the C, right? Which would make looking the keyword, eh? I assumed you were indicating some sort of crucial surveillance mission. Was I missing some crucial context? Look, I was just looking at the ocean, plain and simple. No mission was involved. Excuse me? You were literally just looking at the ocean? Yeah. Explain yourself, I'm baffled. You were staring at a giant saltwater puddle for no reason whatsoever? Yes, I was. Is there a problem with that? Of course there is. The first and biggest problem is that you are out of character. Oh, and I don't see anything wrong with it. Listen carefully, time is not an infinite resource, you only get so much. Our lives are brief. How to make use of the precious time we're given is an absolutely essential problem. It's one thing if you're never given the opportunity to make your own choices. Some people spend their lives following orders from others. If that's the only path open to you, then you just have to deal with it as best you can. But you, my friend, have the good fortune to be free. And you're choosing to use that time staring at the sea for no reason at all? I find that extremely hard to understand. As your classmate, I request that you produce an acceptable reason for looking at the ocean, understood? You're kind of thinking too hard about this. I was just looking at the ocean and thinking about how pretty it is, or whatever. What's wrong with that? Do I really need some special reason? Can I conceive of this as the rest and relaxation period, then? I don't think I can accept it unless there's some sort of concrete meaning to your actions. Alright, fine, let's go with that. I was looking at the sea to relax. I see. I have to say, you didn't really seem to be enjoying it much. That's not true. Michiru squints her eyes against the sea breeze. Her expression belies her words. This explanation seems dubious at best, but then again, I suppose it was foolish of me to expect any coherent logical basis for this woman's behavior. The wind feels nice. We stand below the vivid, clear summer sky, utterly wasting our time. If things are going to continue along these lines, it'd be more productive to return to the dorm now and just read for a while. Michiru, my friend, have you considered the possibility that this abnormal desire to view the ocean is the product of some sort of bacterial infection in your brain? No, I haven't. I'm not going to. Then perhaps there's a kappa in your family tree? No, wait, they live in rivers. Damn. What's this? Let me see your head for a second. What now? Shut your mouth and present me your cranium. Don't give me any trouble. Don't tell me there's a kappa plate on my head! I pull Michiru's head towards me and quickly pluck out a single hair. Among her mass of thoroughly bleached blonde locks, there was a single pure black strand. Ow! Did it break? Did you break my plate? What? Did the kappa ancestor ring any bells? Not to worry, though. Nothing's broken. I just put out black hair for you. Kinda stands out when it's surrounded by a sea of blonde. No matter how much effort you put in, you're probably going to miss a few hairs like this unless you have someone else take a look for you. Oh, I see. Thanks. You got some cucumber bits around your mouth, by the way. Cut it out with the kappa gags already. Just look at the sea for a while, Yuji. I'll pass. Why bother looking at it? It's the same as it was yesterday. I think the ocean will get along just fine, even if I don't sit around staring at it. Oh, will you just look already? Come on. I give in to her pestering and stare out at the ocean, as expected. There have been no dramatic developments since the last time I saw it. I mean, the ocean is just so huge, you know? The sea may be the same as always, but Michiru is clearly different today. The tone of her voice is strange. True enough, 70% of the Earth is covered in oceans. Huge is a relative concept, but I think this would qualify by the more typical standards comparison. I thought you'd say something like that. So silly. Michiru laughs, inexplicably amused by my simple statement of fact, but in the next moment that unusually serious expression is back on her face. You know, I've been thinking, compared to this ocean, people are really just tiny, insignificant specks, aren't they? When I look at this huge ocean, my worries just seem so tiny. I feel like it's all just a joke. If she's not intentionally quoting something, this is about as hackneyed and cliché as she can get. That was pretty deep just now, wasn't it? What's more, she's not remotely sheepish about her trite words. Fascinating. Maybe I'll take a look inside her head and see how the machinery works. She's clearly got a few screws loose already, so it should pop open easily enough. Yeah, maybe it was. But in the end, I decide to reaffirm her statement. It's a fact that humans are only one part of the greater whole in nature. It might be cliché to reflect on the transitory nature of our existence, but that doesn't make it any less valid a claim. Right? I know, right? Hehe. I said something deep! Ahem. My worries. That doesn't mean you need to repeat it. Once was plenty. Oh, jeez. Get off my back. I can repeat myself if I want to. My worries are tiny and insignificant. Oh, I can play that line of text again? Well, sounds like she's just suffering. Like, I can hear a hint of suffering in that laugh. Michiru's clearly gotten carried away. It might have been a mistake to give her ego a boost like that. In the end, she's nothing more than an idiot. Can't have her getting too satisfied with herself. Too exasperated even to sigh, I send Michiru an expressive glare. Not that I'm confident she'll be able to see the cold pity in my eyes. What are you looking at? What is it now? Nothing. Nothing at all. If it isn't nothing at all, why are you staring at... Oh, it looks like the girl's had a sudden flash of insight. Perhaps she's finally become aware of her own foolishness? Don't misunderstand. I didn't mean it that way, okay? My tiny worries don't have anything to do with that. Stupid. As Michiru babbles on, she moves her arms to hide her tiny chest from view. Look, maggot, I have no interest in your pitiful excuse for a rack. What the heck? You were just staring at it, with this dirty look in your eyes, and I don't have tiny breasts, okay? I've got a nice body. So there. A nice body is a term we might use to describe, say, a mane. By any reasonable standard, your breasts are tragically underdeveloped. My condolences. They aren't tragic at all. I mean, Makina's way worse, right? That girl's in a whole different category. Are you really happy about beating a complete outlier? Not happy in the... Okay, maybe a little happy. The corners of Michiru's mouth rise ever so slightly. Probably recalling Makina's washboard of a chest and mentally comparing it to her own. What a petty human being. Have you no pride, woman? You might as well gloat about handling your chopsticks better than some tourists from France. Shut up already. I have big breasts. Big, I tell you. Admit it. I demand that you say that they're big. They're big. Too big. I demand you say Michiru-sama's breasts are very large. Michiru-sama's breasts are very large indeed. Somehow I'm even more pissed off. Apparently my complete lack of sincerity got across to you, but anyway. Sounds like you've cheered up a little. I'm the same person I always am, got it? Ah! The black cat from the other day appears from somewhere or other. Purring loudly, it sidles up to Michiru and aggressively rubs up against her leg. I see. So you were searching for a black cat rather than a blue bird. It's not like I came here because of the cat, okay? It's total random chance. I mean, it's not like I've ever seen this cat before. And to think there'd be a cat in a place like this. Crazy coincidence. What are the odds? What was the cat's name again? Something like... Who says it has a name? Not that I care. No idea, myself. That's right. It's Rommel. It's Kitty Meow! Don't give him some weird name, you jerk! Ah. Just as I thought, it's the same animal that was at the school before, isn't it? Didn't know it was your pet. You got the wrong idea. I don't know this cat. So there. What? Rommel isn't an acquaintance of yours? Hark, how many times do I have to tell you? It's Kitty! Never seen it before in my life. You dropped something. Allow me. No, it's fine. You don't have to pick that up. A carton of milk, eh? That's a bit unexpected. Didn't I ever mention that I'm a complete milk fanatic? Sure, I guess I've never drunk it around you guys, pretty much ever, but I love it. I'm constantly guzzling it down. Just happen to never give them the slightest indication of that in public for even a second. I see, that's good to hear. If by any chance you've been giving milk to the cat, I would have had to stop you. Huh? Why? No worries, since you're the one drinking it, there's no problem. Enjoy. Yeah, this is for me. No problem. But, why? Come on, tell me already. Let me break it down for you. Giving a cat milk can upset its stomach badly. If you're that desperate to give it some, you need to dilute the milk with water first. It's not like I'm desperate to give him milk or anything. As soon as the words are out of her mouth, Michiru's glancing restlessly around the area. What's wrong? Looking for a source of water by any chance? That's not it. I wasn't looking for anything. It's nothing, jerk. black cat wraps itself around Michiru's leg like a fuzzy boa constrictor and starts to rub the corner of his jaw, roughly against her ankle. Looks like it's trying to mark her with its scent. Seems like you've pretty much tamed the animal. One could almost get the mistaken impression that he's begging for the milk you always give him. You've got it all wrong. Very wrong. Kitty meow. This cat, that I don't know from a hole in the wall, which is to say, whole cat, isn't attached to me at least. Rommel seems awfully... It's Kitty meow. No, it's a hole in the wall. Yes, he's a hole. This cat is a hole. Yes, he's a hole. This cat is a hole. This is like one hell of a scene over a cat we're looking at right here. It's clearly a cat. I know that jerk. Arg! Apparently giving up on its request for milk, the feline in question sinks to the ground at Michiru's feet and rolls itself up into a ball. Within seconds, it closes its eyes and falls fast asleep. You must have been feeding this thing for quite a while for it to trust you this much. Shut up, alright. It's not like I come here all the time to feed it or anything. This whole cat just showed up completely out of the blue. In other words, he's wholly blue. Or as the Italians say, sacre bleu! Could you please try to calm down a bit? You have a bad habit of firing off unintelligible gibberish when you get worked up. Alright. I suppose I'll pet this hole in the wall until I feel calmer. Michiru reaches down and scratches the neck of the defenseless cat with the tip of her fingers. The animal moves its head in time with her strokes in evident pleasure, then begins to lick at the pink pads on its paws. The cat seems so completely and blissfully relaxed that I half expected it to melt in the contented puddle. Just watching, I can feel some of the stiffness in my shoulders begin to lighten. It's not good to carelessly let your guard down, but keeping up a state of constant tension is an even worse idea. Brief moment of rest. I'll join him down there for a while. Huh? I drop myself to the ground next to Michiru. Flustered, she grabs at her skirt and holds it close, preventing any potential visual access to the interior. Don't be an idiot. I don't have an ulterior motive. You worry about the stupidest things. Even if that's true, I don't want you seeing anything, okay? Like what, a bit of cloth? Nothing worth worrying about. Michiru's apparently worried about disturbing the cat now slumbering on her feet, as she's avoiding any large movements. Either way, I truly don't have any secret plans involving her underwear. I just want to sprawl out in the grass and think about nothing at all for a while. Whatever, just don't look over here too much, alright? It's been a long time since I've laid myself down on the ground and gazed blankly up in the sky like this. Every once in a while I do spend some time gazing at the clouds, but I tend to be thinking things over while I do so. But as Michiru says, just looking for no particular reason isn't bad in its own way. The vault of blue above me hasn't changed. It looks just as it did when I was a child. I thought the clouds might seem a little closer by now, but naturally, they're the same as they've always been. My perspective may be a meter or so higher when I stand, but that's completely insignificant on this scale. I can stretch my hand up all I want, but it'll never reach the clouds. We're all but chained to the dirt beneath our feet. I see. Not a bad view. Michiru begins to speak. Her tone's... I'm kind of scared of the sky. Especially when it's dark. When I look up at the moon at night, it doesn't look like a moon anymore. It looks like a gash. It's like the sky is a giant lid covering us, and the moon is an air hole someone punched into it. Like I'm trapped inside a box or something. It makes me feel like I'm suffocating, or something. But the world as a giant box angle is new to me. Can't help it. That's what it seems like to me. So I just don't look at the sky at night. It's kind of scary and it makes me feel lonely. It makes me feel like I'm not myself anymore. I think I understand. You don't look at the night sky in order to prevent yourself from transforming into a wolf, right? I imagine that would be troublesome. That would actually be easier to deal with. Simpler. A wolf, vampire, whatever. That way, somebody could just shoot me with a silver bullet. Aim right at my... Meow. I'm sorry, kitty meow. Are you hungry, perhaps? Or still sleepy? Well, this weather really does make you want to take a siesta. That said, I haven't even eaten breakfast yet, so the timing's a bit off. I'm gonna ask you something strange, okay? Just for the heck of it. Don't think I'm weird or anything. I've had you down as exceptionally weird for a long time now. What happens to people when they die? People die when they are killed. Don't get up, just keep lying down. This is just a stupid little chat, okay? For example, Dracula. He gets hit by the light of the sun, turns into ash and blows away. The end. So what about normal people? What happens to them when they die? Are we talking about religious ideology here? You want to hear something about a final moral judgment? I just want a normal happen. I just want a normal answer. What happens when you die? Plain and simple. I haven't died yet, so I can't speak with much authority, but probably nothing. What's nothing like? Oblivion or whatever? If you're imagining floating naked in the pure white space, I think you're slightly off. It's just like going to sleep and then never waking up again. You fall asleep and just stay that way forever? Everyone else will probably be running around worrying about the funeral, but what do you care? Of course, people die in many different ways, but in the end, we're all taking a never-ending sleep. Is that all? Sounds pretty peaceful, really. Depends on how you look at it. Anyway, heaven and hell are just the remnants of an archaic moral system. Nobody really takes that stuff seriously anymore. Don't see many people going around walking on water, or making magical wine out of it. Of course, it seems God does appear before the chosen few every once in a while. Most of them to tell them need to start up a political campaign. Hey, If I die, I want to be buried here. Getting a bit ahead of yourself there. Or do you plan to die anytime soon? No, of course not, but, you know, it's just a what-if thing. I mean, this place is such a beautiful view, right? Feels like you can see across the whole world from up here. I'd be happy if I could sleep forever in a place like this. To be honest, I'm a little displeased to hear a perfectly healthy person scouting out locations for their tomb. Don't be such a stick in the mud. Alright, I'll bestow this important duty on you. Yuji, make my grave here. You want me to dig a hole and bury you in it? Look, you can't just go making a grave wherever you please. You understand that? You can deal with the details later. Just do as I say. The cat's eyes shoot open at the sound of Michiru's shout. Startled, it bounds away like a spring, vanishing in the blink of an eye. I slowly raise my upper body off the ground, brushing off the grass clinging to my clothes. Jeez, you've got no sense of romaine, you know that? No romaine in your heart. Why are we talking about lettuce? Nobody said anything about vegetables. Arg, you just messing with me again? It's your fault that Kitty Meow ran away. Now I feel all hungry, too. Why'd you have to mention lettuce? Forget this, I'm gonna eat my breakfast. You there, I'll permit you to dine with me. Michiru's expression has returned to the norm. It's as though the conversation just now never happened. Well, if you're hungry, I guess I can split my beans with you. Beans? What? Your diet is totally miserable, as usual, says the girl who's always filling up on convenience store-box lunches packed full of preservatives. Shut up already. Alright, we're gonna have a race back to the school. Loser buys the drinks. Ready, set, go! Our little conversation about death took me by surprise, honestly. Not what you expect from a random chat with your classmate, but life is always shadowed by death. The only question is whether you're aware of its presence at your side. Sometimes a man who looked perfectly healthy in the morning goes to sleep and never wakes up again. Death can come at any time, and once it does, it's too late to regret the things you've left undone. Morbidity isn't productive, but sometimes we should remember that nothing lasts forever. Michiru's words might be significant in their way. Michiru calls to me some distance away. Carefree girl. I'll catch up to her in seconds if that's the extent of her head start. I begin to walk slowly, trying to decide what sort of drink I'll have her buy me. Rookies should stick to moving in pairs. You better know what you're doing if you want to work alone. I'm quoting a professional detective, but the words are generally applicable. When you're tailing someone, a pair is less conspicuous than a single shadow. Of course, that can change depending on the circumstances. In most cases, though, one stone-faced guy glaring at your back is going to inspire more caution than two idiots who happen to be following the same road. Even the best international agents usually use a male and female pair. A single tail isn't unheard of, but it demands a significantly greater skill and experience. A major part of the challenge is that some people are simply more wary than others. As we've just seen, your target may turn and look behind them at completely unpredictable moments. Which means that when you're shadowing someone, especially solo, perception and anticipation are the most crucial moments of success. Yumiko? Incidentally, on this particular tailing mission, I got a tail of my own. She seems to think it's going well, but I noticed her unwavering stare as soon as I left the dorm. Being observed isn't really a problem in itself, but I should probably make things clear before she starts developing any unfounded self-confidence. Sakaki, if you got something to say, feel free. Anytime. You were onto me? Yeah, pretty much from the second I left the dorm. Sakaki's eyes widened in surprise. Seems she did indeed have some misguided pride in her attempt at stealth. Why are you following me around? How about you tell me why you're following Komine-san first? I see, so that's how she wants to play this. Alright, Sakaki, I think we all know there's a greater mystery here. Why are you outside? Excuse me, did you just call me a shut-in to my face? No worries, just a little friendly joke between classmates. It wasn't particularly amusing for your information. Sakaki shakes her hand in exasperation. Well, I haven't heard an answer to the question yet. Let's see, my favorite food? Baked beans. Nobody asked about that! Baked beans, though? Seriously? Sakaki's voice grows unusually loud with irritation. Keep it down, Sachi's going to notice us. Didn't answer my question seriously. The reason I'm tailing Sachi, is it? Pretty much just felt like it. At my response, Sakaki silently begins to dial a number on her cell phone. Do me a favor and refrain from calling the cops. I'd really like to avoid dealing with a certain cantankerous old codger, if at all possible. In that case, I suggest you offer a slightly better explanation for your actions. Let's see. Sadly, I'm drawing a blank. I happened to see Sachi heading out and got a little curious. That's about all I've got. Sorry. You're following someone around for a reason like that? Ridiculous. Don't worry though, it's not like I'm some obsessed stalker. Don't have a life-size Sachi poster in my room or anything. You can check. If I'd happened to see you heading out instead, I'd probably be tailing you right about now. I'm relieved from the bottom of my heart that things turned out otherwise. We're getting separated from her. Come on, time to move. Hey! I charge off in pursuit. Sakaki follows in my wake. Leaving the area surrounding the school, Sachi heads in the general direction of the station. She doesn't seem to have caught on for the moment. I'm not sure if that's a good thing. Would you mind explaining why I should play along with this nonsense? A male-female pair is efficient and inconspicuous for covert surveillance missions. You're already familiar with how tricky it is to shadow someone by yourself, aren't you? Of course we're conspicuous. Komine-san knows exactly who we are. The instant she sees us, it's all over. Sakaki seems even grumpier than usual today, but judging from the fact that she hasn't simply stalked off back to school, it seems she's surprisingly weak against pushy tactics. Just where's she going, anyway? That's a shopping bag over her shoulder, isn't it? The shopping district seems like the most likely possibility. A supply mission, is it? Meanwhile, Sachi has stopped to speak with someone she met in the street. Hello there, Sachan. Thanks so much for your help last time. Think nothing of it. Shopping for ingredients today, is it? Yes, just a quick trip to the supermarket. Oh, thank you very much. I'll keep that in mind. Oh, I forgot there were other dudes in this game. Hello, sir. Back out delivering soba noodles? Are your hips feeling better? Thanks to that ointment you got me, I'm good as new. I'm very glad to hear it. My wife was very pleased too, or rather, pleasured. I always love it when the men laugh in this game. What, does everyone know Sachi or something? Before long, it becomes apparent that virtually everyone Sachi passes in the street has some sort of friendly greeting for her. What's with this bizarre phenomenon? Don't ask me. I had no idea Sachi was such a celebrity in the town. I expect Komane-san leaves the same impression even when outside the school. The same impression? Very diligent and honest. Whatever the final results of her efforts, we all trust and rely on her, yes? True enough. I don't think there is any other side to her personality. She's just probably straightforward and helpful wherever she goes. You know, considering how uninterested you always count to be. You're a pretty observant one. I've simply known Komine-san a little longer than you, that's all. Alright, we'll leave it at that. Even after arriving at the shopping district, Sachi's encounter rate is as high as ever. Sabdor, Yonagurt? Sakaki, please explain this as well. Don't expect you to explain everything just because I have the answer once. Oh, alright. I assume the renowned classmate researcher, Professor Sakaki, would have some insights on the matter. I don't recall becoming a professor of anything. For some reason, they're getting really excited. How on earth is this code language they're speaking in work? It's nothing like any I'm familiar with, unfortunately. I can't hear well from this far away. Mumbling something to herself, Sakaki draws gradually closer to Sachi. Watch it, Sakaki. Get in closer and she's going to notice us. Huh? Oh, right, sorry. Wait, why am I hiding anyway? What am I even doing? Now you worry about that. Talk about delayed reaction. Well, I guess you could say Sachi's pretty impressive in a way, to have so completely caught our perpetually unenthusiastic Sakaki's interest. She just held an entire conversation in gibberish. If Matsushima-san was here, she'd probably be bursting out demanding the secret code right about now. Most likely. Anyway, Komine-san certainly is popular with the young. Perhaps that knack for dealing with children is also the reason Irisu-san is always demanding her as a playmate? Come on, we're going to lose her, Kazami-kun. Yeah. When exactly did our roles in this operation get so thoroughly reversed? Alright, that's everything. Having finished her shopping in the supermarket, Sachi begins to walk back toward the school, a satisfied expression on her face. Seems this is all she had planned for this particular expedition. Well, as expected, she didn't pull anything too out of the ordinary in the supermarket. Oh. Personally, I don't think anyone ordinary would listen to an old lady giving out free samples blather for an entire hour. Sakaki's voice has its usual tinge of exasperation, but her facial expression is somewhat relieved. Alright, I think I'll be leaving you to your own devices now. Excuse me. We're going back to the same place, aren't we? I've got something I want here as well. If you need help carrying anything, I can tag along. Not necessary. Alright, take care. With a few words of deadpan sarcasm, Sakaki walks off on her own. Alright, I suppose I'll just finish my surveillance of Sachi by myself. When I turn my attention back to the maid in question, she's walking along while peeking down to the bag she's holding in both hands. It doesn't look like she's paying attention to where she's going. As soon as the words are out of my mouth, Sachi bumps her shoulder against someone, sending the contents of her bag scattering across the ground. Well then, any way you look at it, we got a classmate in distress here. What did I just see? Took only 10 live streams, but here we are. An actual choice. 10 live streams later, we get our first choice. And yeah, I definitely did save. In case I want to go back and make the other choice for some reason. Now I'm honestly curious to see both options. I should help her. I was leaning towards this anyways. That's enough tailing for one day. You alright, Sachi? Oh, Kazami-san? Were you? Save the banter for later. Let's get your things off the ground. And if I don't, what happens? I think we picked up all the obvious stuff. You missing anything? No, that appears to be everything. Good. Thank you very much. I owe you my life, Kazami-san. I think that's a bit of an exaggeration. Is it? A disappointed expression on her face, Sachi shifts the bags in her hands. Something inside catches my eye. That canned food. Yes, the clerk recommended this one. It's Kankan brand, tuna flavor. It also seems to have cat food written on the side. Are you really planning to make a meal out of that? Yes, of course! I see. Look, it's not like I have the best eating habits myself, so I don't want to say too much about other people's diets, but voluntarily eating pet food? That seems a bit over the top. I'm not eating it, of course. What on earth are you saying, Kazami-san? Who's eating it, then? So if not you, who will be eating that cat food? A cat? Didn't know you had a pet, Sachi. Well... As if at a loss for an answer, Sachi closed her eyes and thought, I think it would be quicker to simply show you. And just like that, she turns and begins to walk away. Guess this means I'm supposed to follow her? After entering a dead-end alley off the main road, Sachi takes a few steps and squats down to the pavement. So this is the recipient of the cat food? Okay, I'm willing to bet that we're gonna get jumped by 3 men who just want to beat the shit out of me. And maybe rape Sachi. I mean, we're in some dead-end alleys, so we could just get jumped by 3 men again. There doesn't seem to be any visible problems with its health, but it can't hurt to take a quick look. Mind if I examine its physical condition for a moment? Are you a veterinarian, Kazami-san? No, can't say that I am, but I should be able to tell if it's healthy or not. A long time ago when I had a pet dog, my master taught me how to perform a basic checkup of an animal's health. You never cease to amaze me, Kazami-san. Receiving the kitten from Sachi, I begin a simple palpation of its body. Even when you're dealing with a very small animal, if there's something seriously wrong with its body, the pulse and movements of its total organs will always tell you as much. It seems to be in decent shape. Incidentally, the most common mistake people make when raising kittens is inducing diarrhea. People tend to give them milk during the weaning period, but many kittens don't produce that much of the enzyme needed to break down lactose. If their diet is too heavy on dairy, it'll cause severe indigestion. Sometimes leave weaken and die if you don't get them treated. You should probably teach the kids that much, if they don't know already. Seems to still have so much to learn. As she speaks, Sachi gently strokes the kitten's head. From her behavior and body language, it's clear that Sachi is quite fond of the animal. Have you considered taking the kitten in yourself? You know, keeping it in the dorm? Student dormitory is a general prohibition on pets. I guess that's not surprising. On the other hand, they're generally pretty lax on enforcing that sort of rule, you know? As long as none of the others have an allergy or whatever, I doubt anyone's going to complain if you're a little selfish for once. Selfish? Matter of fact, Makin is keeping a crawfish in her room at the moment. If you're interested in the idea, I could try talking to the principal directly and... I mustn't be selfish. A selfish girl who causes trouble for others is a bad girl. And I mustn't be a bad girl. A bad girl, eh? Sachi's true feelings are probably different. Animals are mysterious things. No matter how indifferent you are at first, spend a little time with one and you'll find yourself naturally getting attached. That's something I've experienced personally in the past. Would you keep the kitten as a pet if you could? Hey, Sachi-ni-chan! Just as Sachi averts her eyes from my hesitation, a young boy runs noisily into the alley. What's wrong, Masahiko-kun? Just the person I wanted to see. I got big news for you. Big news? I finally talked my mom to letting me keep the cat. He doesn't have to live inside a cardboard box anymore. Isn't that great? The boy energetically gestures as he speaks, bubbling with joy. That's quite a relief. Sachi-ni-chan, thanks so much for looking after him all this time. Not at all, I just gave him a little food every once in a while. With those words, Sachi gently hands the cat in her arms over to the boy. You're living with me now, okay? The boy pets the kitten's head gently, just as Sachi had before. She watches the two of them quietly. One more thing, Sachimi-chan. If you want to see this guy, you're welcome to come over anytime. Would that be alright? Of course it would. It's all thanks to you that he got this big and strong. Okay. Then every day right after class, every day might be a little much. What a shame. I'm gonna go show this guy to Ma right away. Please take good care of him. You evil-looking guy. You could have left out the evil-looking part. The boy cradles the cat carefully in his arms and dashes back out into the main street. That's too bad, Sachi. I was expecting something more along the lines of nice to see the cat found itself an owner. You're really something, Sachi, at this point in the conversation. I'm not sure why I would compliment you at the end, but let's leave that aside for the moment. Deep down, you wanted to keep that kitten yourself, didn't you? Yes, of course. Knew it. Therefore, that's too bad. I see. With that curt reply, Sachi slowly begins to walk away. I've been considering the possibility for quite some time now, but I'm now convinced. Kanmai-san, you belong to the category of people commonly referred to as sadists. Can't say I've ever consciously classified myself as such, but I guess I'll have to take your word for it, Sachi. Under the merciless assault of your cruel words, I felt something stirring within me. Say what? What the heck is this? Did a classmate just confess to me? Specifically about awakening to sexual deviancy? Nonetheless, I have to thank you. Why? Earlier, you offered to talk to the principal so that I could keep the kitten in the dormitory. It seems I won't be able to raise him myself anymore, but just knowing that there's someone who understands my feelings makes me feel a little warm inside. That a fact? Yes. Sachi begins to walk more briskly, seemingly unable to say any more. No matter how much she hides behind words and logic, having something she loves taken away from her must be a bitter experience. If I was able to take some of the edge off that pain, I guess even the most whimsical of tailing missions might have meaning in their own right. Excellent, we're beginning covert surveillance. Follow my lead. Roger. Well, under circumstances at least. Oh, Michiru, are you having takeout from the convenience store for dinner again? So what? Leave me alone. Let's see here. Garlic chicken and tuna corn salad. With deluxe baked pudding for dessert. Same as always. I bet you everyone working at that place knows you as the garlic chicken addict girl by now. Garly girl for short. Sounds entirely likely. They tend to remember customers who always buy the same thing at the same time, you know? I can just see the part timer's talking behind your back. Garlic girl come by today? What? Cut it out. Now it's going to feel really awkward the next time I go shopping. Sorry about that. Hardly a big deal, though. Don't let it get to you. What she said. Get too self-conscious and you'll turn into an ugly human being, you know? Huh? Really? I don't know. Just repeating something Amani told me once. What does that mean? It's a little tough to explain. Basically, if you get too obsessed with what everyone thinks of you, it seems to lose your individuality. Your values and style get thrown off little by little. That said, you do need to pay attention to the impression you leave on other people, so it's kind of a tricky balance. You gotta find the middle ground. This coming from someone shameless enough to wander around the dorm naked? Am I really being lectured about moderation by a girl whose breasts always seem ready to burst out of her clothes? Is she nuts? Hey you, if you want to badmouth me, wait till my back is turned, got it? I mean, she ain't got a reason to hide a body like that, so why not show it off? Nakane, what are you eating? Oh, this pudding is hella tasty, you know? Whoopsie. Whoopsie doesn't cut it. She ate the pudding! My precious pudding! That pudding was easily the highlight of the meal. I was looking forward to it so much. How dare you, vile fiend. Pudding, I shall avenge thee! Okay, now, let's not go nuts over one little pudding. I'll give you something else for dessert. What was that? That wasn't just any pudding, it was baked pudding! Deluxe baked pudding, with whipped cream on top! What replacement could you possibly offer for such a perfect dessert? Okay, well, all I've got is some pumpkin ice cream, but you're welcome to it. Pumpkin ice cream? Oh, this looks pretty good. It's tasty if you eat it plain, but also goes really well if you with some warm honey toast. That does sound kind of good. That pumpkin ice cream looks tasty. You already ate all my pudding. You're not getting this too. Where's your apology to Michiru? Oh, sorry, Chirichiru. I haven't mentioned it before, but the truth is, I have a secret mega passion for sweet stuff. Oh yeah, well I'm well aware of that already. Guess I was being careless anyway. Wait, isn't this for Yuji? Is it really okay for me to take it? No problem. I made plenty, so there's lots more waiting up in my room. I'll just bring down Ishiro and pick up the dishes. He's actually okay with eating pumpkin in the first place? Why do you ask? Pumpkin stuff tends to be kind of sugary and all. Don't guys usually hate it? Not really, but just the other day, he ate up the pumpkin tokoni I gave him just fine. Tokoni? What's that? You know, the thing where you boil pumpkin, azuki beans, and sugar and soy sauce? Never tried it? Sounds ridiculously sweet. I would completely overpower the rest of the meal. I can't stand pumpkin anyway. It's all dry and crumbly. Always makes me thirsty. Hating pumpkin? What kind of a girl are you? Not all females love that stuff, for your information. Oh, don't you love Bamkuchen though? That stuff makes you just as thirsty. Bam is different. It's kind of a cake, okay? Pumpkin is a side dish, not a dessert. I don't know about that. Makina loves Yurokoni with a big glass of milk at snack time, you know? Oh yeah. Look, you just like anything that tastes sweet, right? I mean, boiled food with milk sounds kind of strange. Do they really go together? Makina eats everything with milk. Sponge cake and milk, Twinkies and milk, whatever. Well, I can understand with the sponge cake one at least. Maybe it goes with anything sweet? Don't you eat curry with milk too? Yep, I do indeed. I coat my stomach with a glass of milk beforehand to protect it from the curry spice, you know? I'm also a fan of milk when I'm eating the YB. YB? She's talking about a yakisoba bowl. A what? Yeah, we take a bowl half full of rice, sprinkle on some shredded cabbage, and dump piping hot yakisoba on top of it. Gah! Noodles on top of rice? Carbohydrates on carbohydrates? It's tasty, you know. If you have the time, it's even better if you put a lid on the bowl and wait till the cabbage is nice and soft. Is that weird? I mean, people do the same thing with other fried stuff like okonomiyaki or takoyaki, right? Yeah, it's just weird. People from Kansai are nuts, and you drink milk with that? Don't tell me you're forcing Yuji to eat that stuff too. Well, can't say I've gone so far as to give him something to slapdash his YB. But either way, Yuji hasn't complained about anything I've served him so far. Not even once. Poor Yuji. You just can't start complaining about a girl's cooking after all. He must be suffering in silence. I'm pretty sure that's not true. Oni-chan always says it tastes good, you know? The guy really isn't picky about his food. I mean, he did say he doesn't like meat, but if it's on his plate, he'll eat every bite. I think Chirichiro with her garlic chicken diet is the weird one here. Complaining about pumpkins is one thing, but milk too? What a picky eater. No wonder your hair's gone all pale. The color of my hair has nothing to do with this, alright? I'll go through hell to keep this bleached. It's intentional, got it? Huh? Oh, really? I was thinking more like you weren't getting enough nutrients to your head, so you turned into a dumb blonde or something. What? Dumb blonde? Is that really how you see me? Sorry. This one might be my fault. See, I kind of found out that when I say if you don't eat properly, you'll end up like Michiru. She'll gobble down every scrap on her plate while screaming in terror, so you know. No, I don't know. Don't use me to threaten the child. What do you people think I am? Do I look like a friggin' boogeyman to you? I'll grind up naughty kids to make my bread. Not funny! That is not funny! Hey, don't let it go down, alright? I spent a long time overseas, so I understand. This is what it means to be a blonde woman. You can't help it. I told you, my natural color is black. As Michiru shrieked and threw her hands up in rage, it seems that her completely melted puddle of pumpkin ice cream scattered in a syrupy spray across the hallway. Hearing the stories, I ate my dinner that night and nodded thoughtfully and offered a few wise words. The word blonde doesn't indicate a hair color alone. It describes an entire way of life, tragic as it may be. We haven't been in the laundry room before, and it's been 10 live streams. There are many kinds of heroes in this world. The famous heroes that really existed, like Jeanne d'Arc, the female commander who broke the deadlock of the 100 Years' War. I'll save here then. Fight Tuna Fish Man? Is that really what this chapter is going to be called? The heroes of legend, like Heracles of Greek mythology, who carried out 12 great labors and fought the forces of chaos in the Gigantomachy. Even the small heroes whose names are quickly forgotten, like the anonymous man who selflessly protected a young girl from vicious stray dogs. But among all the varieties of heroes, the admiration of children is mostly reserved for the super category. Composed of flashy characters who use special powers to fight for justice in comic books and television shows. Originally, a superhero is supposed to protect the weak and crush evil, but these days, matters aren't quite so clear-cut. It seems mysterious superheroes with unclear motives have come into fashion. I learned of their existence not too long after entering my new school. Spare ribs! Spare ribs! When I arrive at the 3rd floor, having decided to finish my laundry early, I find Sachi and Makina screaming at each other about food. Thigh meat! Thigh meat! Boldly declaring your fetish as soon as you enter the scene. This I had not anticipated. You continue to amaze me, Kazami-san. You two seem to be discussing your lunch menu, so I was trying to play along. Lunch menu? What are you talking about? You were screaming about fatty tuna and spare ribs, right? Weren't you arguing over your meal plans? Ah, now I understand. No, you got the wrong idea. We were just playing a vigorous round of Tuna Fish Man. Tuna Fish Man, is it? I've been hearing that name fairly frequently since entering the school. Since it ends with man, odds are he's some kind of superhero. The tuna fish part is slightly hard to decipher. Perhaps it's the nickname of a hardened warrior, a man so tough that even under the harshest enemy interrogation, he stays as cold and inert as a dead fish. Or maybe he's a socially conscious superhero fighting back against the environmental consequences of tuna overfishing? Hey, Oni-chan, why so quiet? Fantasizing about thighs again? No, I was pondering a little about this Tuna Fish Man character. Huh? Don't tell me you aren't familiar with Tuna Fish Man! Afraid not. I first heard the name quite recently. That may be a grave problem. A basic understanding of such cultural phenomena is an essential part of getting by in modern society. Indeed, Tuna Fish Man is an ultra-famous superhero these days. He's routinely referenced in major political speeches, not to mention national school exams. Say, what? He's a very popular character in the Mishima Cape area. I see, in my previous school I usually have my hands full at my studies, so my knowledge of popular culture may be somewhat lacking at the moment. In that case, how about taking a look for yourself? Is that possible? Certainly. Tuna Fish Man is a Sunday morning TV superhero, after all. A new episode will be broadcast just about 5 minutes from now. What? We've only got 5 minutes? Yes, we've been playing Tuna Fish Man for a good half hour now. Well, the time flew by thanks to Sachi's top-class role-playing service. Nearly backfired on us. This Tuna Fish Man is still something of a mystery to me, but apparently, he's a compelling enough character to make a surreal game like that addictive. We're going to watch Tuna Fish Man in the lobby. Would you care to join us? Initiation as a Tuna Man fan. We're dashing to the 1st floor. Can we see the show already? Sachin, switch it on, pronto! Yes. Sachi dives toward the television set like a runner stealing home and mashes the power button. A commercial for a snack food I recognize from my childhood fills the television screen. Mickey, 7:59! Made it by the skin of our teeth! Yes, it wouldn't do to miss the recap. Judging from the childlike sparkle in their eyes as they settle on the sofa, it would seem like these two really are looking forward to the show. My curiosity piqued, I turned my attention back to the television. So we're going to be watching a show in a visual novel. Fresh Fish Superman. Tuna Fish Man. I wish I could explain this to you right now, IDKville, but even I probably can't. Even I want to know what the hell is going on right now. It's already been 3 months since we launched our plan for beefy world domination from the distant pastures of Fujisawa. First, we plot to convert that crumbling old Hamasagi shrine into a steakhouse, but met terrible treatment at the hands of those unbelievably violent shrine maidens. What we need is a nice, easy place to conquer, just for starters. How about this town, Miyoshi? Miyoshi? What sort of town is it? So this is supposed to be what? A bull wearing a red cape, holding an acoustic guitar, and wearing blue knee-high boots? What the fuck is this? He's supposed to be one of the bad guys, right? Full-on bull costume, playing acoustic guitar, wearing the red cape. Oh, that's General Spare Ribs. Sounds like a beefy prize. Alright, our next order of business. We'll make that into a super cheap, all-you-can-eat barbecue restaurant. Why are we watching this? What's with this freak? Why is he wearing that cheap-looking mask? The word mask is forbidden! That's General Spare Ribs, the barbecue empire's baddest, beefiest big shot. He's Tuna Fish Man's sworn archenemy. General Spare Ribs, designed around a barbecue beef ribs motif, wages an unending battle against Tuna Fish Man, designed around a tuna motif. It's the ultimate clash between meat and fish, a take-no-prisoners food pyramid war, a truly clear and compelling setting, matched artfully to the interests and knowledge of children. Sorry, but is there some point to staging a battle between meat and fish? Not in particular, as far as I'm aware. I see. As I tilt my head in puzzlement at their explanation, the program's theme song begins to play. By the way, Sakshin, has the CD for the song been released yet? God, this song is such a banger! What in the heck are the producers doing? A godly song like this would be a million-seller hit! I guarantee it! I agree it's a good song, but a million might be expecting a little too much. The real world can be a heartless place. Especially when it comes to music about fish-themed superheroes. This is it, General Miyoshi. Good. Good. Let's begin our search for this renowned inn. Wait up. Renshan. Jeez. Nanano. You're the one who said we have to hurry before the melon buns sold out, you know? Nice timing. We'll beat the location of the inn out of these girls. They're not melon buns, they're mango melon buns. Yeah. Excuse me. We've heard there's a well-known traditional inn in this area, but... Yes, you must mean the Kuroda Inn. It's right next to my house. Wait a second. General Spare Ribs? Young lady, could it be that you know who I am? Of course I do, I never miss an episode. I see. Seems I've become something of a celebrity. If you say so. I have no idea who this guy is. Are you sure he isn't just some freaky pervert? Pervert? How rude can you be? I'm General Spare Ribs of the Barbecue Empire! Haha, here, my card. Oh, so basically you're the guy in the role of General whatever? Bibi, such cynical words are forbidden in the world of superheroes. Don't children these days believe in anything? Where's the inn? You better spill the beans if you know what's good for you. But General Spare Ribs, what do you plan to do if I tell you where the Kuroda Inn is? steal the rights to the property, then remodel as a behemoth like and eat barbecue joint, of course. That's just wrong. I'll never tell you where the inn is. It's, well, if that's the way it's going to be, I'll take you as a hostage and get the truth out of the other girl. You okay, Nanano-chan? I can call the police right now if you want. Don't talk about the police. How cynical can one person be? It's fine, Renchi-chan. We have a powerful superhero on our side. Superhero? Bibi? You can't mean. Oh, but I can. Help me! Nothing seems to have happened. Don't rush things, Rengig-chan. Tuna fish needs time to rush over here. That a fact. Fish guts, fish guts, fish have guts. Gah, a weird thing showed up on foot. That's no weird thing, it's the superhero tuna fish man, ally of the weak and defender of justice. Sounds like he's dying over here! Is it just me or is he totally out of breath? Tuna Fish Man is an eco-friendly superhero, so he never uses vehicles that emit CO2. Fresh Fish Superman. Makrama! This is a superhero. You show your face at last, Tuna Fish Man. Whoops. There we go. Oh, once the superhero shows up, they let the hostage go? That's just how these things work. As long as there are saltwater fish crying out for a savior, the tuna of justice will appear! We're primates, though. Don't sweat the small stuff. B? Tuna Fish Man, you meddling do-gooder, always standing in my way. Beware, today we'll settle the score once and for all. Bring it on. Go, go, Tuna Fish Man! Alright then, I'll show you the guts of a fish. That is to say, fish guts! Ugh. Eat this. Did he just rip out his own guts and throw them at General Spare Ribs? Holy shit. It seems today's sushi is ferociously fresh, as always. That's almost kind of morbid. Imagine if I just rip off my skin and start throwing it at you. That looked like exactly what he did. Try this out for starters. Tenderloin, tenderloin, tenderloin! Hey. These things just started ripping their own stomachs open and throwing their flesh at each other. This is how the battle between Tuna Fish Man and General Spare Ribs must be fought. Only through the sacrifice of their own delicious bodies can they achieve true victory. That's just morbid. Tuna Fish Man and company throw everything they've got away to teach us the harshness of reality. I see. For a show that's supposedly easy for children to understand, this grim fatalism seems slightly out of place. Perhaps this program has an unexpectedly nuanced message beneath its bizarre surface? The tenderloin is bewitchingly succulent when grilled over high-grade oak charcoal direct from the forests of Wakayama Prefecture, wouldn't you say? It's exquisitely cooked, and the smell stimulates the appetite, draining my power. What, you're okay with the burns? Whatever might be the matter, Tuna Fish Man, I've still got the beef tongue and sirloin steak waiting. Damn, at this rate. What do we do, Ren-kan? Renge-chan? Tuna Fish Man is in trouble. Trouble? This is trouble? Fish! I still got my trump card. That's... Somehow enduring the powered-up tenderloin attack, Tuna Fish Man prepares to answer with his ultimate attack. Why is there a fearless smirk on General Spare Ribs' face? Phew! A commercial break! Today, Tuna Fish Man is in a pinch right away. Very unusual. Instead of getting fresher meat, they changed the fire used to grill the beef. I didn't see that one coming. Wakayama charcoal, is it? Moves just like the real thing. It glows. It shakes. Moves like the real fish on land. I wouldn't want to advertise myself as a fish that moves on land. Whoa, Oh, this wonderful product! I want it! I want it immediately, if not sooner! Tuna Fishman transformation belt set coming soon. Hold on a second, I don't care if you want the toy, but did I miss something here? I didn't see a single transformation sequence in this show. Now that you mention it, Tuna Fishman is always in full tuna fish mode from the moment of his arrival. Oh, is it so that Machina can turn into a tuna fish? In the first place, I don't think he even wears a belt. What's with the silence, though? And what's that just like the real thing supposed to mean? I could just look at these girls all day. Did their hearts just break in half? Okay, Sachin, once the show's over, research this mysterious transformation belt at once! I guess if you were listening closely enough, you could have maybe heard both of their hearts just breaking in half. Or at least Machina's. Eat this! Toro. It stinks! It stinks of fish! How's that? Toro, the finest fatty tuna, harvested from the least muscular spot of the belly. Something else, isn't it? Certainly a rich, oily cut of fish. But I won't be defeated by the likes of this. What did you say? No way. The Toro didn't work? There's no way that it would, because this Toro isn't from the usual bluefin tuna, caught by the fishermen of Oma. If I'm not mistaken, it's mere big-eye tuna, probably caught somewhere close to the equator. This is still Fruit of Grisaia. This is a show within a visual novel where the hero and the villain are just ripping themselves apart and throwing pieces of their flesh at each other. Yeah, this tuna fish man is literally ripping himself apart to throw his own flesh at the main villain of the show, General Spareribs, who's doing the same to Tuna Fish Man. Yeah, you can see all those exposed fish bones right there. And this is supposedly a show that's easy for children to understand in this universe. I've been defeated by that move too many times to miss such a blunder. That's really not something to be proud of. Damn. I may have gained power as a superhero, but in the end, is a mere saltwater fish like me powerless against the force of nature? Hold on. Tuna fish man, you're not a fish, are you? I mean, you've got legs. Yo! Kill yourself. Belittled by a young girl. Serves you right. If only. If only global CO2 emissions had been reduced while we still had the chance. Sorry, but I think you've had enough time to bemoan environmental problems. I'll finish this with my ultimate attack. Take that. Spare ribs! Spare ribs! Are you okay, Tuna Fish Man? I'll be alright. But at this rate, the virtuous citizens will have their inn stolen and turned to a barbecue restaurant. You can do it, Tuna Fish Man. The Kuroda Inn is Miyoshi's pride. But I've already thrown an edible part of my body. Your stomach is nothing but bones now. You still got something you can throw, don't you? Huh? You know, you still got that leftover stuff they're always selling in the seafood section, right? You don't mean. What do you think you're whispering about? Face the beefy reality. You'll all be working in the barbecue restaurants in the glorious barbecue empire from now on. I'm afraid I can't do that. A spoon. Unbelievable! You still stand, despite receiving my ultimate spare ribs attack, powered by high-quality oak-cart charcoal? Through the grace of our mother the sea and the wisdom of a young girl, I have awakened to the new power. A new power? Eat this! Tuna Fish Man's new ultimate attack. Tuna scrape! Tuna scrape! Tuna scrape! Impossible! Tuna scrape? This can't be! Not just any tuna scrape, the highest quality leftover flesh scraped from the spine right at the fatty belly area. The taste is incomparable. I can't deny it. This would be great in a nice sushi roll. That's right. Now that you've learned your lesson, go back to Fujisawa. You have no choice but to retreat for now. But don't think this is over. My dream of beefy world domination still lives. Ah, the pervert ran away. He did indeed. Now only we refined gentlemen and ladies remain. No. I have you pretty firmly in the free category as well. That was amazing! You drop off the General Spare Ribs! Tuna Fish Man, you're really something else! Fish! It's all thanks to your brave support, young lady. And you as well, quick-witted young miss. Your advice was the key to my victory today. You have my thanks. Whatever, good work. Be very careful about overfishing too in the future. Tuna Fish Man, good luck. I almost forgot. Please enjoy the leftover tuna scrape, you two. What? Really? Is that okay? Made after 12 p.m. I stuck on a date sticker for safety. It's freshly scraped from my body this very afternoon. What an awesome side dish! Oni-chan will flip out! We're really going to eat that? And thus, thanks to Tuna Fish Man's efforts, the Barbecue Empire's ambitions were thwarted once again. But as long as General Spare Ribs still walks the earth, there can be no true peace. Run! Tuna Fish Man! Fight! Tuna Fish Man! As long as there are saltwater fish crying out for a savior, your battle will go on. The fish and meat used in the attacks were enjoyed by the staff after filming. Everything wrapped up perfectly as always. So that's a complete story then? Personally, I found it super satisfying, especially the new ultimate move. Indeed, today's episode was a roller coaster ride. I've still got goosebumps. So today's episode was of the so-called heart-pounding, edge-of-your-seat variety, apparently. What'd you think of your first taste of Tuna Fish Man? Yeah, I was just wondering that myself! Let's see. It's a little difficult to put into words, but all said and done, it was definitely not a boring experience. It's no lie to say that I found the setting and plot truly thought-provoking. Thanks straight. Tuna Fish Man never ever fails to deliver 30 minutes of action-packed, must-see TV. If you gain an interest in the program, I have here a DVD with recordings of all episodes broadcast so far. You're welcome to it. You're well prepared. It's only natural for the class representative. You can take the class rep out of the classroom, but it seems you can't take the zealous devotion to service out of the class rep. If he did, would you ask him for an autograph? Good idea! I'm gonna go get some autograph paper and pens. I gotta be prepared for Tuna Fish Man's visit whenever it comes. Wait, Maki-chan. I've got all that in my locker already. An ordinary low-budget television show just inspired a shut-in girl to vigorous action. If you look at it that way. Children's superheroes might have more redeeming value than immediately meets the eye. Hey, what are you doing out here? Up until a minute ago, I was watching a show with Sachi and Makina. Really now? Pretty rare for you to watch TV with those girls, Yuji. True enough. But there was something I'd been a little curious about for a while. Those two were educating me. Incidentally, Amane, tuna is good stuff, isn't it? Sorry, what the heck are you talking about all of a sudden? I was pondering the topic of seafood and the thought just popped in my head. Pondering, huh? Anyway, if I ask for a Negatoro bowl right now, could you maybe make one? What's this? Yuji asking me for something? Where's this coming from? But the fact is, I've developed a sudden craving for fatty tuna. I'm honestly curious about what's gotten you so fixated on tuna, but whatever. As you wish, your kind big sis will make you a Negatoro bowl full of love. I appreciate it. Fresh fish Superman. Tuna Fish Man. An eccentric superhero. Decidedly unlike any other I've known. But if the spirit of justice burning in his tasty breast can inspire the hopes and dreams of two girls in this dorm, well, in a world that's already overflowing with tales of heroism, one more can hardly hurt. And then we run into Yumiko again. So, parent-teacher conference. That I'll just save for the next Grisaia. I'll save it for my next stream. So yeah, Tuna Fish Man, what a show. People, well, not people, but fish and cows literally just ripping themselves apart and throwing their flesh at each other. just throwing their meat at one another. What a show.